All right, traders, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Forex Fundamental Analysis video. I'm going to be talking to you guys a little bit more about the NZD and the JPY. We had some ideas over the weekend on what we would see happen in that regard, and we have a G20 meeting coming in this week, so let's see how that stacks up relative to the trade war. We should get some more data on that. All right, let's roll the intro. All right, guys, US session just popped off 9:30, so markets are open. We haven't seen too much volatility as of yet, but throughout this week, we are expected to see a little bit more. Okay, so if you guys are new to the Top Trader channel, welcome. I'm head trader here at Cleveland Bishop. Here we like to present all the fundamental analysis aligned with the technicals. We understand that it takes intrinsic value to be able to price these markets in the right way. So the more you know what's happening fundamentally, the more effective you can be as a trader. It makes sense. All right, so again, make sure you guys subscribe if you have not yet, and like the video for your boy. I very much appreciate it. All right, so I'm gonna do a quick deep dive on the NZD and the JPY. Right now, when it comes to the NZD, we're seeing a lot of sell side pressure. We have not rebounded yet at all. All right, so I mean, here, take a quick look on our NZD index, for example. You're going to see markets just really consolidating and sitting down here at these lows, and mostly that's happening, of course, because of the trade war data and all the crazy things happening in that regard versus China and the US. But we have seemingly paused at this point, so this is why we thought that maybe we could see a little bit of a buy side push back to the upside on the NZD for the week, and of course, what's inversely correlated to the NZD, that JPY. And of course, you can play the NZD and the Aussie, but right now we like that NZD structure a little bit more than that than the Aussie structure. Okay, so JPY at its highs for really 2019 nearly. Okay, and so again, that's another scenario where we think if they can back off a bit, or if there's some kind of resolution that can happen in regards to Trump and Xi Jinping, then yeah, we should see potential pullbacks here on this Japanese index. Okay, so what happened over the weekend, if it wasn't on Saturday, it was on Friday. Donald Trump mentioned that he's going to have an extended talk with Xi Jinping, and of course, he's very optimistic, or he's very positive about what he says and about what potentially is going to happen when it comes to the trade war. But every time they end up having that conversation and they pull back, what do we get? We get nothing but more bad news. Okay, so I'm not too optimistic about there being some kind of resolution, but I am obviously, like everyone else, going to stop the sell side pressure. I'm going to stop buying the yen. I'm going to stop selling off the NZD, because just the off chance that there's some kind of agreement met and just some better conversations happening, we're going to get some nice price action to the buy side for the NZDJPY. So that's what we're going to be taking into account. Outside of that, last week we did see some price movement to the sell side for the USD. We mentioned that, by the way, folks, on the video that we pushed out last week, where we said, hey, markets at the moment are pushing to the high. Maybe we can get some type of relief back down into consolidation, and that's exactly what we got. So you can see that represented here on the US dollar index, and I'm gonna show you that also here on the Euro USD. Again, where we saw that sell side coming in on that specific pair. I want to run the tape real quick. Take a look at that exact trade idea. Take a look. So of course the euro's not out of the woods yet. We have had some bad PMI numbers. Me and Kyle were talking about that over the weekend, and then outside of that, there's just a few things happening over in Germany that you just don't want to see. Germany is the Eurozone's #1 economy, and so anytime you see some type of slowing growth in German sector, mostly their manufacturing sector, then yeah, you can probably assume that that's not going to be too good for the euro. Okay, so if we take a look at the euro index, what you'll notice real quick is that yes, we are still very much consolidated, and these are dailies. So you can see how volatile this pair has been, and how, again, stuck in that downside range it has been all throughout 2019. Literally 2019, from right here, it has not moved at all. It has been one of the most stagnant pairs, and it has been in its state like this for the past, again, all through 2019, but this is the most consolidated it has ever been in the past 5 years. Okay, so not relying on that too much. We do hope to see a little bit of an upside push, especially if we can get some good Brexit data. And so that's another conversation that we hope during G20 we'll start to have in regards to how that can be finalized. Right now, there are two votes left in runnings to decide where the British government is really going to go from a directional standpoint. Who's going to lead Brexit, or who's going to lead the idea of not Brexiting? Okay, so those are the most pertinent data releases that we see on our end. We're going to be back tomorrow, of course, with some more details. I do want to show you real quick what we're looking at on the CHF, and just to catch your eye real quick. We don't have too much of a fundamental idea about it, but if you take a look at the CHF as of right now, what you'll see is just a massive push to the upside. This is week by week, okay? And if I pull back and show you this on the daily, it looks even more ridiculous. So this is something we are keeping our eye on. This is also fairly correlated to stuff happening to the trade war, okay? But there's some extra stuff happening here as well that we need to do a little deep dive into, okay? And when it comes to Currency Insiders, we're still scheduled to launch July week 1, maybe July week 2, but it'll be early July week 2. And this is really gonna change so many people's trading, all right? So we're really excited to launch Currency Insiders, to give you guys our ideas for why we think each one of these incremental price movements are happening, is happening. That's going to be so important. If you can price in data, if you can understand why markets are moving, then that's going to be an exceptional edge for you in markets. It's not education in any capacity, it's data. It's a massive informational source that you guys are going to be able to utilize to be able to trade more effectively. Okay, and so just for you guys, of course, here on the YouTube, we want to give you guys an amazing gift, or really deal to get in that and be the first ones to kind of test it out. Let us know what you think. Give us some feedback before we go full-blown insane Currency Insiders taking over. All right, so go to the link in the bio. I want your guys' feedback. You can put in your email and your phone number down below, and then that way you can get pre-registered. And so when that launch happens, make sure you check your email. I'll let you guys know here, of course, but make sure you check your email so you can be immediately opted in. Okay, so outside of that, I'm gonna keep you guys up to date on what's happening on that NZDJPY. We have pushed out that signal to our Academy members. And if there's anything else that pops up, I'll let you guys know. Okay, so comment down below. I'll know what your thoughts are when it comes to the JPY. There's a lot going on with it. If you guys need any help, let us know. We'll talk soon.